2025 is the beginning of the creatorpreneur era, a person who understands how to truly leverage two key aspects of the digital space. Number one is media, and number two is monetization. On the one hand, we have the entrepreneurs who rely purely on paid ads, on affiliates, or even referrals in order to drive traffic to their business or perhaps even scale their business. And on the other hand, we have the creators who do amazing things online, accumulate huge amounts of following, likes, impressions, all that good stuff, yet there's no money coming in their bank account. The modern creatorpreneur concept is when you get to combine the best of those two worlds, and I've broken it down into a simple 7-step framework that you get to see today. So with that being said, make sure to subscribe, like this video, save this video, and actually let's jump straight in. So as a broad overview, the 7-step framework looks a little bit something like this. The first thing we do is that we need to grow an audience online. The second thing we do is that we nurture those audience, and the third thing we do is convert those audience. All of this is done through content. So this is the job, let's just say, of the creator. The creatorpreneur, this is the creator aspect of things. The entrepreneur aspect of things is steps 4, 5, 6, and 7. And that is when we get to introduce basically opportunities for our followers and give them the chance to signal interest in what we have to sell, whether that is a workshop, whether that is a product, a digital product, a mastermind, a mentorship program, whatever it is that you have to sell, no matter if it's low ticket, mid ticket, or high ticket. The first thing we do in order to take people outside of the platform and into our own platform, into our own universe, whether that is in the beginning stages, it's probably just your email list, and then you could send them into somewhat of a community. But we do that through giving them opportunities to signal interest, giving them a chance to say, I'm interested in what George has to say, in what George has to sell. From there, we introduce steps 5, 6, and 7. Those steps, as we're going to see in a little bit, is what we call the value ladder. And you can thank Mr. Russell Brunson for that. Not a lot of people know that Russell Brunson was actually the mentor of Alex Hormozi. And if you didn't know that, you probably know Hormozi, but you didn't know Russell Brunson. So now you do. With that being said, if we were to dissect it a little bit easier, let's just say, this aspect is creator, this aspect is entrepreneur. So let's actually dive into the first step and the second step a little bit deeper. So the creators understand media. The creators understand how to grow their audience. They understand content creation as a whole. They are very much platform aware, aka formatting. And formatting goes a little bit deeper than just the dimensions, let's just say, of the post. 1080 times 1920, whatever it is for Instagram, or like a square post or landscape or vertical. What I mean by formatting is understanding behavior of the viewer, meaning why do people watch YouTube videos and why do people hop on Instagram, for example, or hop on TikTok. The behavior of the viewer on each platform differs. So what we need to do as creators is understand why they use the platform and what are they looking to get from watching videos on that platform or watching content in general on that platform, and position our message and our offers in the best way that is digestible for them. So all of the formatting goes back to understanding who you're targeting and who you're talking to. Lastly, we have the strategy, and then we have branding. So just as much as we talked about formatting and understanding a little bit deeper into who we're talking to and how do we best position our content in order to serve the message and the offer that we have, strategy is basically the same thing. You don't post just to post. Each and every post has a mission. That's how I teach it personally in my coaching program. There's intention and there's a mission behind each content piece. It's either there to grow your account, to nurture your account, or to convert your followers into leads. And this is where I introduce people into the CCC framework. So most people know about attract, nurture, and convert, or perhaps grow, nurture, and convert. But I always like to see my content and my strategy to content based on my customer's journey, based on what my customers want. Exactly what we talked about formatting. I bring that into my approach when it comes to creating content. So When we say grow your audience, or if you want to attract more following and grow your following basically online, what that means is you need to make more people care about what you have to say. When we say nurture your audience, what that means is help them connect with you and your brand. And lastly, when it comes to convert, it is indeed convert. So first thing is to care. The second C is to connect, and the third C is to convert. That's the CCC framework. So we create content to help people, to make people care about what we have to say. We create other pieces of content that we help them connect with us and our brand. And there's other missions. Let's just say the third mission of the content is to help them convert from followers into leads. Now, the issue that I see with a lot of, and a small, let's just say asterisk on this, the issue that I see a lot of beginner content creators do is they rush and they try to do all of those 3 C's at the same time in one single video. This is where strategy comes into place. If you were to, for example, post 6 times per week, let's just say, for example, you could do 2 of these, and then 2 of this. Again, going back into the creator concept here, this is what I mean by strategy. Each and every post, there is a mission behind it. There is intention and there is a reason for it being there. So the last step of this process, as we said before, is to convert people. But we want to convert them from borrowed audience into owned audience. And the difference is basically Instagram and your email list. And what do I mean? Instagram, for whatever reason, can wake up tomorrow and say, George, I don't like you. I don't like what you posted. I'm not going to show it to anyone. And actually, in fact, I'm just going to take down your entire account. So 100,000 followers that I've accumulated over the years are just gone. Whereas the people who have accepted my invitation and they have converted from a follower into a lead, they have accepted the fact that they've given me their name, their email, and sometimes even their phone number. That data I own as the creator. My email list, I own that email list. I own the data of those people. The difference between Instagram and your email list is this small file called a CSV file, which is basically like an Excel file with the first name and their email. What also is very important to note here is that Instagram, for whatever reason, let's just say they don't take down your entire account, but if there was something like a shadow ban going on and your videos were not pushed to non-followers or even followers of yours, no one gets to know what you're up to. Let's just say you want to sell, you want to launch a product, and if Instagram is the only way people get to know about that product, and for whatever reason, Instagram chooses not to show your videos, you're fucked. Whereas emails, you send the email, the person receives the email in their inbox. This is more of a one-to-one communication. If you send it and they're part of your email list and they've accepted that, they get the email. So all we do when it comes to the creator aspect of things, just to give you a synopsis of everything, is that we use socials, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever it is that you use, in order to, again, grow our channel, nurture our channel. But the end mission of all of those followers that we want to build and all of that goodwill that we've built is to convert people and take them out of the platform and introduce them into our own world, into our own platform, which in this case, it will be your email list. This is what we talked about here. These are the first 3 steps of the modern creatorpreneur. So we need to have intention behind each content piece that we create in order to, once again, grow, nurture, and then convert people and introduce them into the signals of interest. Signals of interests are very easy to understand when we get a glimpse of what a value ladder is. So when it comes to the entrepreneurs, what entrepreneurs actually understand that most content creators don't is they know exactly what to do when it comes to offer creation. They understand on a deeper level positioning and messaging. They have a product suite. They have a segmentation of their audience. They know email marketing, funnel building, launch campaigns. All of this are different skill sets in a sense that you get to develop as an entrepreneur. And if you're just starting out, don't consider this as the end all be all, or perhaps the fact that you have to know all of this in order to start monetizing. This is here in order to give you a better understanding of what is needed when it comes to combining those two worlds together. And as you can hopefully see, here is where we get to see a glimpse of those two worlds combining. For example, positioning and messaging works wonders when it comes to formatting for that platform, like understanding your audience and how you position not only your content, but like what you say in that content and how you say it and your products. That's when those two worlds start aligning and start combining basically together in order to form this creatorpreneur framework. So moving back to the entrepreneurs, we introduce steps 4, 5, and 6, and 7 rather. Those 4 new steps is what we call the value ladder, which basically in a very easy and hopefully digestible way for you is where we get to ascend people into a higher tier of monetary commitment, in other words, money, based on the value received. So what this is starting someone from zero, something that costs them nothing in terms of money, and ascending them into what we would call a low ticket product, into a medium ticket product, and then into a high ticket product. There's many and different ways of going about this. For someone, a high ticket would be $5,000. For someone else, it could be $10 or $50 or $100,000. It really depends on the business, the service that you provide, the products that you have available. If we go a little bit back to the offer suite, the product suite rather, this thing here is where you get to develop this ladder. How I personally see it and what has helped me understand this value ladder better is that I base my pricing, so I base their commitment of money on the proximity that they get with George. So the closer they are to me, to my knowledge, or to my time, the more they get to pay. The key difference here to understand is that you don't use social media platforms as your business. You have a business, or you perhaps build a business, and you choose to use content as the vehicle that leads people to that business. I don't create videos on Instagram or YouTube to get paid from Instagram or YouTube. That is an add-on rather than the main source of income. Because I have my own offers, I have my own product suite, as we talked about before, my own services that I can provide. So I leverage content in order to lead people into my business. Now, a little note that I wanted to make before, when we talked about signals of interest, most people call these lead magnets. Other people call this tripwire funnels or squeeze funnels. There's a difference between this one and these two, but all three serve the same purpose, and that is to create a piece of content that leads people to a landing page where they get to share their name and their email. Sometimes, as we said before, even a third part right here, their phone number, sometimes, in exchange for a freebie. If you're a video editor, for example, you create a few presets, you create a lot. If you're a videographer, you create a writing template, let's just say if you're a copywriter, whatever it is, you create those and you give them away in exchange for people's names and emails. Because again, we don't own Instagram, we don't own the audiences in our social platforms, but we do own the ones who choose to give us, to subscribe to our newsletter, for example, or give us their name and email in exchange for a free training. So for a quick summary, all we do is grow our audience, nurture and convert our audience. That's why we use content in order to then introduce people opportunities, to showcase signals of interest, and then ascend them based on proximity into a low, a mid, and a high ticket product or a service. Hopefully this video gave you enough context as to how a modern creatorpreneur operates and what is the step-by-step process that gets you to combine the world of media and the world of monetization and blend those two worlds together in order to become the creatorpreneur. I really hope this finds you all. I hope that you enjoyed this. Subscribe if you haven't yet, like this video, and we'll speak soon.